did some research. I called my insurance company and they gave me a list of numbers, and I ended up getting in contact with an advocate who connected me with Sovereign. Well, I've been to treatment before. I think the time in my life that I had been to treatment was not, I wasn't in a place where I was open-minded because I still had a lot of things. So I have now lost everything, which I'm not proud of, and I started getting in trouble with the law over the past year. I'm 38 years old, so I just started getting in trouble with the law. I had 3 back-to-back incidents. I wanted to find a dual diagnosis program that had a long-term treatment program, one that had maybe another angle than the ones I had tried in the past. So the holistic side attracted me, along with the location. I mean, it's California. It's much different. I live in a house and we get up with other women. There's several houses and it's just like a normal house, but we have someone that watches over us that's employed by Sovereign. So we have some accountability, but then again, we're not completely confined to the treatment center itself. So we have a structure schedule where we get up at the same time every day and we all go together to the center, and we go to groups. We have tours at home and just like a normal home would function. So it's not as much of a culture shock when leaving the treatment facility. Well, I went to Detox first and I loved it. I really did. That home was beautiful. The nurse was super nice. Both of them were. And it was a very pleasant experience. I didn't really have my first contact with the center until after maybe my 3rd or 4th day. And it was just a visit. So I kind of transitioned to the whole moving from Detox to the house real gradual and real slowly, which was very pleasant and very comfortable. I have of the program was to get away from the people that I was associating myself with and kind of seclude myself in an atmosphere that was conducive to sobriety. And my expectations of this facility were that people here are going to help me as far as figure out what my goals that I need to meet in order to achieve sobriety, and then possibly assist me with later goals as far as living skills in general, education, where I'm going to live. I would like to see my kids more and more and more and more, so I do believe that they're going to help assist me with that. I have a person that is helping me with my legal situation. I have someone that is a therapist that is amazing here that works with me one-on-one. So every expectation that I have, I feel like will be met by the time I part from Sovereign, if they haven't already been. I've learned it's principles, not personalities. So I don't get along with everyone, and that's going to happen in the real world. So I'm just going to be completely honest with that. I love some of the facilitators here, and some I butt heads with. But then here at Sovereign, what's really cool is there's enough support that I trust, which my therapist being one super strong support for me right now, is helping me to sit through these uncomfortable situations and talk them out and figure out what areas I need to work on, give me tests so she can help me work on these aspects of my life so that I don't have my old behaviors which lead me to using. Normally I just run when things are uncomfortable. Now that I've lost everything, I really have nowhere to run, but I have a therapist who is super supportive and helping me through these situations where I'm learning now that it's great for me to come across some facilitators that I don't necessarily relate to, because that's going to happen in the real world, and I can learn from that experience. I can sit in uncomfortableness, and I end up liking them in the long run more than anybody else, go figure. But I've ended up really liking the entire program. Of course, when I came here in the beginning, I was negative, so I see other people coming in and they're new and they're negative in the beginning too, but now it's completely turned around for me. I'm super grateful. To be completely honest, I hated it at first because I got moved from one home to another in 1 week, and I know now, looking back on it, the patients as a whole are very unpredictable. So we're doing things like leaving and coming, so Sovereign is making adjustments that are best for me, and I completely see how I can benefit from this whole situation now. So in the beginning, I absolutely hated it, and I've had different sets of people in and out of my particular home, some of which I got along great with in the beginning, didn't get along great with after that, and then a new set of people came in. But it's all about learning how to deal with that, because that happens in the real world, and we actually have someone there in our home that is employed by Sovereign that we can talk to, or we can call someone on call if we need to reach out. So I really like the fact that it's just in a regular home, but then I'm just dealing with uncomfortable situations and then have some rewarding things happen too. It's just like the real world. It's not like secluded like the other treatment centers that I've been to. It goes by really fast for me. I love the groups. I get a lot out of the groups. A typical day at Sovereign would be, I wake up at 4:30. That's crazy. I do wake up before everybody else. That's just crazy. I'm getting in a routine, so I'm waking up at 4:30. I find myself doing that so that I can get my work done, my day prepared, and the mirror all to myself before everyone else gets up. And I'm able to do a little bit for someone else too in the house when I wake up early, like bring someone coffee like a new person. And then the house manager takes us all to center for around 8 o'clock. We leave about 7:30. We get to center about 8 o'clock, and we get here and we have a little bit of fellowship, and then we go to our first group. We're assigned groups, and we have different groups throughout the day, like life skills and anger management. We have a cognitive lab where we have computers, and we have our therapy sessions sometimes and our doctor's appointments sometimes. And then we get picked up about 3:30 by our house manager. We go back to our house. We eat dinner that is prepared by our house manager, but sometimes we're super sweet and we cook for the house manager. We clean up our mess, and then we go to a meeting, mostly every day. Sometimes, as a whole, if the group is really needing some downtime, we get that. The women that I have gotten close to, which is really unusual for me because I've always had someone to bail me out of situations, and it's normally been a male. So I haven't had to stay and sit in a house full of women. I could just call him to come get me at any time. So it's been the greatest gift he's given me by letting me go and, working on himself, because I was forced to stay, and I have built some amazing relationships with women that mean so much to me, and now I totally get what they tell you, hang out with the women. I'm really grateful for the relationships. If you have a desire to stop using substances, that Sovereign is an amazing place to get treated for the problems that are causing you to escape and use drugs.